going through TNG Season 3, I was going to do Spock's brain just for the randomness of that, the absurdity of doing Spock's brain as something to review for your first episode. And I was going to do audio commentaries over various episodes of Star Trek at the time, and then, move on to other science fiction. And then I thought, it's an idealistic idea, but I don't think that format would work. I mean, me talking about the Paradise Syndrome as it plays for 50 minutes, I mean, what am I going to say, like, oh, yeah, something I really like about this episode is the scenery, as the camera pans by it. It seems to me that you have a subject, and then in the form of a podcast, you tackle that, Audio commentaries are really more productive and useful when you have something to talk about for the full duration, as a filmmaker who made that film would, and it helps if you have someone who's there with you and somebody's co-hosting you with that. So for obvious reasons, I think me doing audio commentaries of science fiction, it was a good idea, but it's unrealistic. I don't think it would have worked. I don't think I would have survived that. But this format, the one-man trekker, just pulling up Audacity and going for it, it's a great. It really worked out, I think, with episode 1. However, this time around, maybe not so much because I start getting pictures of things, perfectionistic ideas of what I want things to be, and the only time I'll create anything is before I have a vision for it, which is a terrible way to live, but there's no getting around it. It's just how my brain is wired. So I've got to push through all of that. And I'm being very honest with you, by the way. I'd much rather just get on here and be happy, but it's hard for me to do that. But nevertheless, I'm probably driving you crazy. You don't want to hear any more about this, or maybe you do. I don't know anymore, but I'll tell you this. I got some emails, got some emails and stuff, and some feedback shortly after I put up the first episode, 6 months ago, not 5 actually, it was 6 months ago, back in 2012, summer of 2012. So I want to share these with you. I've got all these printed out in order, and when I did these show notes was when I was going to do this science fiction podcast, but part of the reason why I've returned to the one-man trekker is simply because with this science fiction podcast that would have covered everything, Star Trek would have been the whole centerpiece around that anyway. So I might as well return to the one-man trekker where I've already got a first episode. I've got a beautiful website. I've got a gorgeous logo. Just stick to that. So anyway, I don't know. I could probably ramble further about that, but all the webs we weave, I'm just, a cat would really enjoy this yarn that I've never mind. All right, so emails that I've received and tweets. I'll read some tweets too, and there's also something off the iTunes that I want to share with you. So the first email I got would have been 7/14/12. You see, I can't look at the numbers and then tell you what months they are. Never mind. Okay, so anyway, Sean Crandall writes, "Find a buddy and now." Okay, so thank you, Sean Crandall. On to the next one, the next email. This was on 8/5/12 from Evan Rader. He says, "Search the best adult encounters hookup site." Okay, thank you. Keith Garrett wrote on 10/11/12, "Hookup for affairs with in your hometown." And then all of these are in order. I'm reading every single email, every single thing I got with onemantrekker@gmail.com and the tweets. And by the way, there are legitimate feedback that I got that isn't spam. It's from A. McCarthy on Twitter @DemiSemiQuavers. Who knows how they say that. But anyway, he says, "Are you getting TNG Blu-rays? Would be cool to hear a review of the extras on your podcast." And you know something, A. McCarthy, by the way, thanks for following me. There are two people who have one-man trekker have me followed, of course, which is, that's why you have to put out multiple episodes so you can get more people to join in and have fun with you. So, gosh, I can't tell you how much I want to get my hands on them stinking TNG Blu-rays. It is beyond amazing what they've done to remaster those old episodes of one of the best television series of all time, certainly the best science fiction show of all time. And I mean, it's simply amazing. The library doesn't have the Blu-rays, which is, something I've been petitioning for quite a while now. But I did get a chance to, the last time I got out of the house was to see the TNG Season 2 theater event, and I saw the theater event before that, and it was spectacular. You were really missing out quite a lot by missing that one, because that was spectacular. And they showed some of the bonus features. Some of it I think was exclusive for the theater showings, at least how the footage was edited and compiled for that release for the event. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold, as every podcaster will testify. But anyway, gosh, I'm sounding like Palpatine over here. Wrong universe. But anyway, yeah, I think they showed some of what's all that behind the scenes stuff that's gotta be on that Blu-ray. Oh, excuse me, I had to make an edit point there because I was coughing up a storm. Gee whiz, this thing is spreading around. It's worse than the Borg. Well, not quite, but anyway. Yeah, some of the same footage and stuff was, some of the same bonus features were at those showings, and they were just great. So, I'll be interested to see what it'll be like on the Blu-ray with how they've released the bonus features on that. Because I think they have the DVD bonus features, too. The same bonus features that were on those DVD releases. The overpriced cardboard box sets, that were priced at $80 for 10 years or whatever, $100 when they first came out. And they were milking that till the Blu-rays came out. And now the Blu-rays are cheaper than the DVDs were. But anyway, thanks so much at Demi Simi Quavers, however you pronounce your username. Thank you so much for writing in, sir. I really appreciate that. And thanks for following me on Twitter. And thank you. So anyway, got a comment on the website, onemantrekker.wordpress.com. And this guy's name is Alan. He says, you know what? I think that he might be A. McCarthy on Twitter, actually. Yeah, that would make sense because A, Alan. Okay. So Alan McCarthy also wrote on the on the website, and he says, hold on, let me cough. I started watching Star Trek with TNG, and that's how I developed my love of Star Trek. But I have since found that my love for the original series outweighs that of TNG. Do you dislike the original series? And of course I wrote back and said, absolutely 100% not! TOS is such a landmark, and I love it not only for its iconic history. The original series beats any modern television show over the head, and although I have not seen Voyager and Enterprise, still haven't to this day, folks, I can confidently state that TOS rises above. I have a passion for and appreciate TOS and TNG equally, but TNG is more relevant to me in recent times. And thank you so much for leaving a comment. I look forward to really kicking this podcast off. And, hello, 6 months later. But anyway, yeah, TOS and TNG are really the definitive Star Trek. And I explained all this in the last episode. I gotta stop using that phrase there that I'm kind of using a little too much here in this second episode. It's about the second episode, not the one you did 6 months ago. But, TOS and TNG, they're sort of, when you think of Star Trek, that's there, Kirk, Spock, McCoy, that's Star Trek. And then you also think TNG, and that's there too. And, DS9, certainly. I haven't seen Voyager and Enterprise, so I can't honestly put it all together. But it'll be an interesting thing, and that'll definitely be interesting to get into, me watching Voyager for the first time and talking about it on this show. I mean, I've never seen more than a 5-minute clip of Voyager. Never seen a full episode. Same thing with Enterprise. I think I got through 30-something minutes of an Enterprise episode that I was streaming online, but that was it. Yeah. So thanks for writing in on the website, Alan. And speaking of this, DS9er wrote on, sent me an email. He says, "Yo, I love your show and think it is freaking amazing. I cannot wait for episode 2. Well, you're going to be doing some waiting, my friend. Or have been, anyway. So get off your butt and get to it, bro." See, I feel convicted. And he ends with, by the way, DS9 totally rocks, I agree. DS9er. So that's awesome. Thanks, DS9er. And here's your second episode.